contrast to a lot of the headlines out there, January real estate numbers actually gave us more consistency than chaos. Here's a quick and clean rundown of what's happening in the coastal San Diego real estate market right now. Starting with pricing, here we actually see significant market difference by property type. Detached homes are basically flat. Median price for a detached home is sitting right around $1.75 million, and that number barely moved from December. That tells us the buyers at the higher end are still comfortable, and sellers who are priced correctly are holding their ground. Condos, bit of a different conversation. We saw a much more notable shift in attached homes, where median prices slid from the mid-800s in December down to 700,000s by the end of January. That's a real adjustment. And for condo sellers, it means strategy now means more than ever. If you're selling an attached home, buyers are paying very close attention to HOA fees, amenities, and the overall building condition. They're comparing everything. Two very similar configured units, bed, bath, square footage, can have really different outcomes depending on how the complex amenities, conditions, and locations stack up against each other. This is not a time for condo sellers to just trust the market to sell their property. They're going to want to come with a sound strategy and an understanding of the current competitive landscape as well as the recently sold comps. Now, let's talk inventory. Inventory did move up from December to January, which is exactly what we would expect across the holidays. Detached and attached homes combined, we're sitting at just over 1,200 active listings along the coast. That's more choice for buyers, but that's still a controlled environment. This is not a market where supply is overwhelming demand. Days on market crept up slightly as well. On average, homes are taking around 40 days, while condos are taking closer to 60 days. Again, an indication to condo sellers not to overreach in their pricing. It's important to keep in mind, though, these are averages. Homes that are really well priced and well positioned are moving quickly, often 1 or 2 weeks. The ones stretching that timelines are the ones missing the mark on price or presentation, and those tend to sit much longer and drag the average up. One of the most important stats right now is where homes are actually closing relative to their original asking price. Across the board, we're seeing right around 96% of original list price. That number is actually improved a bit, up from December. That tells us this is still a disciplined market. Buyers aren't able to demand huge discounts, but they're also not facing competition that demands above asking bids. Some sellers may be slower to read these trends and end up playing catch up with their pricing sitting on the market a bit longer due to that fact. When it comes to mortgage rate, haven't really changed much recently. We're holding right around 6.2% on a 30-year fixed. The fact that both unemployment and inflation have seen upticks as well as a new income Fed chair has people guessing a bit about where that interest rate will go from here, but most agree radical changes in either direction are unlikely mid or near term. So here's the takeaway. Detached homes holding steady. Condos under more pressure bring good strategy. Buyers need to move fast on well-priced and positioned properties, and sellers need to be more strategic now than in the past to avoid being one of those properties that's sit. This market is functioning and holding steady as we get our footing in the new year. Please like and follow to find out how things develop from here. I'll be coming out with more of these videos. As always, every neighborhood, every building, every property tells its own story. If you want to talk through these numbers and how they apply to your situation, that's where the real value is. So drop me a message and we'll start that conversation.